Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You done bust your ass like Mayweather. I was trying to fight every fighter. I sacrificed a lot to get to where I got you.
What do you bring to the team?
Let's get this on. Let's do it.
Where's like this? Wait. All right, that's it. Hold on. Bernard, everybody calm down.
Man, you know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I sacrificed a lot. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Hashtag TBV podcast, hashtag the Boxing Voice. We are back with the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua continues to make headlines as everyone sits back and waits the decision of one Wladimir Klitschko. Everyone is wondering, what is he going to do? Is he going to rematch the young lion in Anthony Joshua, or is he going to retire? We will be able to find out in about 2 weeks whether or not this blockbuster heavyweight rematch will take place. But promoter Eddie Hearn is simultaneously working on the Klitschko fight and dealing with the promoters of Kubrat Pulev, Calais Sullivan, or however you pronounce it. Let's get Jeffrey before we move forward, right? Why not? Jeffrey, how do you pronounce this guy?
Calais Sullivan. He says, man,
they're good friends. So it's looking like no Ortiz, and Ortiz could go ahead and sue the WBA. And it's going to be Joshua versus Pulev for that IBF. And remember that. Remember that Eddie Hearn has a very good relationship with the IBF. Don't forget that Kell Brook is the IBF welterweight, and you seen how many extensions he got. But those are the facts. We will give you all the quotes, source the interview, and discuss this back and forth, not only with you, but my co-host, Matt, the Hipster Hunter.
Dollar-D Viasi production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just hope the guy, I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the haters here, haters beware. I'm not happy. No, I don't think any of us are happy with Pulev. I hope in everything that we pray for in this sport, the boxing gods, whoever you pray for out there, that we get the Wladimir Klitschko rematch instead of this fight, because it's just not appetizing. You know, we're not getting the Luis Ortiz fight. You know, we may not get the Klitschko rematch. We may get Pulev. I'm disappointed as a Joshua fan, as a guy that's been riding with him since the beginning. I don't want this fight.
Well, Matt, I can tell you this. You're in luck, buddy. You might just not get this fight. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't worry. Hit the thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Helps me and Matt know what sort of content you like around here and what it is that you want to hear with on your afternoon topic of boxing. But listen, Matt, I think that this might not happen. If you thoroughly read this interview that was done with Eddie Hearn, he's already working with the Klitschko team. And it gets even more interesting. Hearn is currently in talks with the Principality Stadium, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, and venues even in China, Dubai, and Qatar, which I never heard of. But I mean, Qatar. Anthony Joshua just represents like big boxing. I mean, think about it. When's the last time a heavyweight went out of country? Like, yeah, he said China. So, right away you think about Manny Pacquiao, but it wasn't really big business. He brought Brandon Rios out there. Like, he didn't fight anybody of note. I mean, if Joshua can take a big time heavyweight boxing fight to one of these countries, not only does it mean for you and I that we get to visit, China, Dubai, or something like that, right? But I mean, it's kind of bringing it back to the days of nostalgia of the heavyweight division when Ali went to different countries, and heavyweights did this in the past. Not only that, because these countries represent a certain amount of money. I mean, Hearns isn't 100% sold that he would be able to have a fight in another country, because obviously it represents a lot of money. These guys would have to be able to pay for this to bring such a fight of this magnitude. But he needs to have this information, because he feels that can entice Wladimir to make his decision. Wladimir might be on the fence, but if you start telling him like, hey, you made 20 last time and we're looking at like 40 if we go to fucking China, he might say, well, Eddie, I must get in there and fight one more time. Who knows? I don't know, but I'm with you. I'm not very happy about the Pulev side. I really don't understand it. If you're thinking about it from a stylistic standpoint, I know that there is this fake, I guess, Aurora. I don't know. There's something about Luis Ortiz, and he's supposed to be the most feared heavyweight, but I'm looking at him. He's like 38 going on 50. Last 3 fights, he's not looking pretty good. But to be honest with you, they're both looking like food in the eyes of Anthony Joshua when you got fucking Pulev fighting guys like Kevin Johnson and Samuel Peters in his last fights. I mean, he's just sitting around really trying to make sure he doesn't lose his opportunity in ranking.
I'm just gonna say this: if we get the Klitschko fight, I'm happy. If we get the Pulev fight, I'm not happy. But I will say this: there are much worse fights to make in the division. Case in point, Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs may have a WBA regular title come next month. So it's very possible that he might leapfrog Luis Ortiz in some way in the mandatories.
Because you're the hipster and you read hours of, litigation and rules and regulations on these sanctioning bodies. But I thought the whole point of the Daniel Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin was to do away with these interim titles. How is it that Shannon is still fighting for a title they're supposed to be doing away with?
Well, I mean, there's nothing in the WBA's rules and regulations about cleaning up that issue. They did make a public statement about it. Maybe it was 6 months ago, something like that, maybe 4 months ago, about trying to consolidate all the titles. But so far, they really haven't followed through with that. Now, I'm just not shocked at that at all. It's a way to make more money because you add on another fee for a belt, basically. You having an interim WBA belt or you having a regular belt adds on to your sanctioning fee. So it's just a money grab. That's all it is. And even though they're a quote-unquote non-profit organization, and I'm using air quotes for everyone listening on the podcast, they're going to try and make as much money as they can. So unless we see some sort of outside entity forcing them to consolidate their titles, there is no incentive for them on their own to do it.
Well, like I said, I pretty much said all I needed to say on this. I'm hoping that Joshua and Hearn can put together a package that will entice Wladimir back. What's funny is that they're saying even if they rematch Wladimir, the IBF won't strip them. That there's a lot of fear out there. All right, he didn't say they won't strip him, but he said he's pretty. He'll put in a motion to excuse me. It's not even called the motion. What do they call it? Let me go to the notes. Shit. What do they call it in boxing? It's not a motion. It's a what do you say?
Appeal.
What?
Appeal?
No. We could try and get an exemption from the IBF, which may be granted or may not.
Tyson Fury was not granted that exemption.
But he says, I've been talking to Pulev's promoter, Kelly Sutherland, who we know quite well. Then he says, if we fight Klitschko again, we can get an exception from the IBF, or we'll try to deal with Pulev. But we have to fight Pulev at some stage. If Joshua doesn't fight Pulev next, he will fight Pulev after Klitschko. So, I mean, there's no plans of Luis Ortiz at all. But I say we get to some phone calls after your final thoughts on this.
I really don't have that much final thoughts on it. I think I pretty much addressed everything that I can. I will say that I know you don't think that Luis Ortiz is a big threat to any of these top guys for some reason, Ness, but he is. That is a high risk, low reward sort of fight. So I wouldn't be shocked if he gets avoided by the top guys even more, and that would be unfortunate. And I think the whole Pulev distraction as the mandatory, even though he has other mandatories, I think is just a way to quote unquote cherry pick in a way the lesser mandatory. And it would be unfortunate if that's the case.
I mean, what's unfortunate is that you're going that far in the bag and saying that he's cherry picking the lesser man. The man has 2 mandatories. So regardless, either way he goes, he's following the rules of boxing. And I mean, you shouldn't go as far as saying that he's cherry picking one or the other.
Cherry picking might be too harsh of a term, but he's definitely picking the lesser mandatory.
All right. Well,
I think that's the consensus of the entire boxing community too. That's not just me.
Let's go out to the callers and sponsors.
Fight fans, don't leave the decision in the hands of the judges. Download the Throwdown scoring app and receive live scoring, CompuBox stats, boxing predictions from other users around the world. Head over to your iPhone App Store or your Google Play Store and download it absolutely free.
Going out to the UK, Nathan, what's going on, brother?
How we doing, boys? You all right?
We're good, brother. Spontaneous show, little breaking news here, but we're giving everybody a minute, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly, I'm kind of agreeing with Matt on this one. I would much prefer the Luis Ortiz fight. I consider him a threat to the heavyweight division. I think outside of, well, in my opinion, I'd probably have Ortiz definitely in the top 4, maybe even top 3 heavyweights in the world. So Luis Ortiz against Joshua is a much more competitive fight, but I can understand why they're taking the Pulev route if they can't get the Klitschko rematch, because the IBF are a lot more strict than the WBA in terms of mandatory. So if they go for Ortiz first, they'll lose the IBF belt. Whereas if they go for Pulev first, then they can keep hold of the other belt and still keep hold of 2 titles. So I can understand why they'd go for Pulev first, just to keep hold of all the belts. As Joshua has said all along, his goal is to become the undisputed champion. So yeah, I can understand that, but yeah, I agree with Matt. It's not a great fight. Pulev, I don't really rate him. I saw his fight against Kevin Johnson. He looked so sloppy in that fight, really bad. I think Joshua would eat him alive inside 4 rounds. It's not a competitive fight, but hopefully we'll get the Klitschko rematch. That was a good fight last time, so I'm sure it'll be a good fight again. That's my call.
It definitely was a good fight last time, man. I honestly don't mind seeing that again. I mean, look, it's not like they're going to give us any sort of unification next. So, yeah, at least we know that one produced some sort of action, right, Matt?
Yeah, completely.
Mouthful Matt over there. I call him Mouthful Face. Let's go to 813. Are you a first-time caller? You're live on TBV.
Yeah, man, I am.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this first-time caller intro. Hopefully, you've been listening long enough. Actually, how long have you been listening? Without telling me where you're from or your name, how long have you been listening to the Boxing Voice?
About 7 months. 7, 8 months, yeah.
Sweet, Matt. We got ourselves a newbie. We're going to go ahead and play this intro. I'm sure you heard about our tradition, and then you just go ahead and say your name and where you're calling from, and we want to obviously thank you for coming on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
This is Ricky from Tampa, Florida.
Damn, we about to be out there.
And I just want to. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was actually at I go to the Keith Thurman gym every once in a while, but I also go to Hurricane Boxing out and also Plant City Boxing, man. They got a lot of good boxing gyms out in Tampa, man.
Sure are.
Yeah, so I just want to jump in on this topic, but I believe that they're gonna take the easier fight and kind of build Joshua's name up a little bit more and kind of clean up his weaknesses, man, before he goes in there with Ortiz and Deontay Wilder. Even though I don't agree with, but if I was a promoter and I want to keep my golden egg, man, and I want to keep him making money and keep him, I guess, relevant, I would go that route. Just keep him busy and keep his shine going. So that's pretty much it. That's my call.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in, man. We always appreciate the first-time callers around here, man. We hope that you continue to call in. Definitely do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification icon so that you can get the notifications every time we do go live, because like today, we do a lot of breaking news shows, rumor mill shows, as well as our Thursday and Sunday shows that come on at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
And hit that thumbs up button if you're watching this in the future, present, or past. Does not matter. Amin in New Jersey, talk to us.
What's good, fellas?
What's up, brother? How's the
day?
day?
The matchup. Hey, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Listen, that matchup, I actually been talking about that matchup for like a couple years. And the funny thing is, not that it's like a barn burner, but I've just been screaming about it as a measurement because I never thought Joshua would get the opportunity to fight a top-class heavyweight like Klitschko. So now that he's fought Klitschko, I think this is, one of those touches where you give it to him, you see what he does. We expect him to come out on top given what he did. And it's just in preparation for, if Wilder fights, Bellew, I guess, and he fights Pulev, and then they meet up after that, I think we all should be pretty happy.
Oh, well, we should. All right. I mean, thank you for calling in. We should be happy. I'll tell you that. I mean, I wouldn't mind that lineup. Let's get out to some more alumni callers in the ATL. It's the Milkman, baby.
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down in 3 rounds.
Right hand. Strap me up. Who's next? I got milk, baby.
Yo, TBV, I'm on my trap phone. Hey man, look, y'all are gonna call me fucking nuts, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think if the rematch is not up for grab, I want Joshua fight Briggs in the UK. That's my call. I'm out.
No, you cannot get out of here, Milkman.
Yo, listen.
Why?
Listen, Joshua said, hey, Briggs, let's go chump right after his fight. If Briggs could pull it off, man, I don't see why Eddie Hearn would not capitalize. That's like, Matt, you can make all the faces that you want, Matt, but you know what you're essentially saying? That Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo Alvarez did not capitalize off of the fight that was Julio Cesar Chavez. They knew that fight was always there, and they made sure that they made it because it was a money grab. And don't tell me that the Joshua versus Shannon Briggs in the UK fight isn't a money grab and isn't available to them, which it is. Listen, future, present, past, a lot of you guys watching, hit that thumbs up button. Why? Helps with the visibility of the show, helps us find new callers like 813 was Ricky. Did he say Ricky?
Yes.
He said Ricky. What was he from? Ricky from...
I have it somewhere. Hold on.
I don't know. But that's how we get new callers. Because your thumbs up helps us get in front of the eyes of millions, which is what we thought our immediate reaction show of Saul Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez was going to do. But that fight didn't live up to the hype. We were expecting a knockout in that one. Listen, Matt, any final thoughts on this before we wrap it up? Keeping it short, staying on time, and tightening up.
Yeah, here's my personal list of what fights I would prefer Joshua to take in order. From best to worst. Klitschko because of the rematch and because of the fight that he produced. Luis Ortiz. Deontay Wilder. Pulev. Then Briggs. No, then put like Parker or maybe like Fury, Tyson Fury, and then like 5 more guys and then Briggs.
Now, do you think that it works that way? That it can work that way? go through the gauntlet, and then we'll be happy with your hurrah fights like Shannon Briggs at the end and Pulev? Because, I mean, essentially what you're saying is, hey, go ahead and beat the best in the world. Show us that you're the best, and then you're going to fight the worst. Why would we watch?
No. Well, first off, that's the list of, like, let's say he can't get the Klitschko fight. Then go try to get the Ortiz fight next. If you can't get that, try to get the Wilder fight next. If you can't get that, then try to get what did I say? I forgot my list. But that's what I was saying. Not like that order of who he should fight in order. That's not what I'm saying. Because by that time, Briggs is going to be retired. Come on. He's not going to last that long. That's like, what, 4 or 5 years on the line if that was the order of his fights.
That's right. That's right. Listen, before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody to head on over to Patreon. You see it right here. It says support us on Patreon. But outside of supporting us, you get a ton of exclusive content, which we've been dumping out a lot. Now, I know that some guys are saying, hey, the video isn't playing for me, etc. You know that that's a Patreon issue. They're going to do the update. I sent the support email, but it obviously works from both iPhone and Android apps. We've been communicating well, and the content is exclusive, and we've dropped some very, very good information for people that, attend the TBV appreciation nights. We have a little poll going there. I know some of you already think that that's set in stone. Pump the brakes. Let me get my sound bites here. I got some various sound bites over here that I really never get to use. Damn, pump the brakes, homie. Even though I've seen some of you guys upgraded to it, I'll see what we can do. But we wanted more of a collective decision. But yeah, so much new things happening, so much exclusive content that we put out for our Patreon family. And obviously, we call you family because you are. Keep in mind, Canelo Triple G, we're definitely having a TBV appreciation night. Make sure you go to ThaBoxingVoice.com. Pretty soon, we'll be having ThaBoxingVoice.com/reunion back up, showing you everything and more details about the Canelo Triple G TBV reunion, which will be our 4th one now. Damn. 4th appreciation night is going to be going down pretty soon. That's right. That's right. That is amazing. And I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. And to all my haters, those numbers never lie. Matt, where can they find you, guy?
You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter. At Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios, on Patreon, SoundCloud, iTunes, a lot of shit, etc. Peace. Have a good one.
Actually, we'll be uploading our 2nd edition of Untitled today.
Are you serious? I didn't get the invite.
Don't forget to. Well, it was done. You know how it is, brother. I keep telling you, you need to come to the East Coast for your training camp. Is all I'm saying. My left arm is sore from the non-stop jabbing. It's going down. I'm just saying. Listen, but we're going to be releasing our 2nd edition of Untitled. All types of stuff. I mean, we talk a little bit of everything. Check out the show description notes. See ya later.